Hi everyone, I'm Diana DeRosa. I'm co-organizer of the EQUUS Film Festival. And one of the beauties about being here at the World Equestrian Games is that a lot of the filmmakers and directors are here to support their films. And I am now with Drew Doggett, and you have 3 different shorts. I want you to talk about all 3 of them.
Sure. Okay, so the first one is Stronghold of Resistance, and it's a short film about the wild horses of Sable Island. Sable Island is a small strip of land off the coast of the North Atlantic that is home to over 400 wild horses. The island has been attempted to be colonized multiple times in the last couple hundred years, all of which have failed. And so one of the unique elements of Sable Island is the fact that these forces have adapted to this very unique environment and thrived over the course of many centuries, even as man has failed to kind of conquer the land. So the short film that I've created is an ode to Sable that basically captures the essence of setting foot on Sable's shores, because Sable Island's a very difficult place to access, and I wanted to be able to create a short film that captured the sounds of the islands, the sights, for many people who wouldn't ever have the chance of visiting.
So I'm going to actually interrupt you between films because that just intrigues me. So what was it like being on that island?
Sure, so I've been fortunate enough to be able to visit the island 2 times. I've spent over a month on the island documenting its wild horse population. Being on Sable Island is like stepping outside of time. The island is almost exists outside of seasons, outside of time, because there's no other real inhabitants on the island except for these horses and a colony of Arctic terns. There's also a few gray seals as well, but being able to walk the shores of the island, to be able to see nature and the forces of nature, the cycles of birth and rebirth, all alone, I think, is something that made me feel incredibly connected to Mother Nature and also to these horses. You know, they really have no fear. They've never had any predators, so they'll come right up to you, and they're very, very curious about you. So being able to kind of witness that is a pretty special place.
Do they get to see people a lot?
No, you know, I'd say only a handful of visitors are granted overnight access on the island a year. And so there's very few people actually being able to walk the shores of Sable, which makes it even more special. But also it protects the horses from becoming used to human interactions.
Okay, so then the next film that you did?
The next film I did was In the Realm of Legends. In the Realm of Legends documents the Icelandic horse population. In all of my research that I'd done prior to traveling to Iceland, I'd seen a number of films and photographs documenting the landscape, and then also about documenting the horses, but I never found a cohesive body of work or story that combined those 2 characteristics and elements of Iceland's history and equestrian population together. So Iceland is known for its extremely beautiful landscape, but also Icelandic horses are woven into the fabric of contemporary Icelandic society. You know, Icelandic horses are the original Viking horses. They're descendants from you know, centuries and centuries ago. So to be able to document them in this land that is awe-inspiring was pretty magical, and I wanted the film to have some of that magical quality to it.
Was there some sameness and some differences between the first film and the second?
Yeah, I'd say one of the defining characteristics of all the equestrian populations that I've filmed is the fact that they have this strong sense of resiliency. You know, they've overcome a unique set of circumstances or a history to thrive and adapt in this environment in which they live today. And I think the Icelandic horses are no exception to that, given that the landscape is so dramatic and unforgiving.
When you say unforgiving, what do you mean?
Well, Iceland is known for having 4 seasons in a single day.
Oh.
And I experienced that in my own journey there. We would be filming in the snow in the north, and within a matter of hours, the snow will have melted and given way to a beautiful pasture. or for instance, would be on the Diamond Beach, filming amongst the glacier lagoon and these large chunks of icebergs right up on the black volcanic beaches. Would be encased by fog 1 minute, and then bright sunshine the next, and then rain shortly followed thereafter.
Oh, that's dynamic,
Yeah,
right? Yes.
it is.
All right, let's move into the last one.
Okay, so the last film is of horses in the south of France, of Carmont. And really for this film, it's a little bit less about the equestrian population as it is about the relationship between the guardians or the caretakers of the horses and these beautiful animals. So for this film, there's much more of a narrative quality to it. I capture the experience of a single guardian who likes to refer to himself as Cowboy of the Riviera, and his experience of growing up in this marshy territory and living amongst and caring for these semi-wild horses. So part of this film is to detail the relationship, the special relationship and bond that they have with one another, but also to capture these animals running almost blissfully unaware of their surroundings through this marshy territory. To see their musculature, their bright blue eyes, their signature white coats, all up against this very minimal landscape that's almost devoid of any physical markers.
So in this case, there is somebody this one gentleman is the one taking care of these horses.
He is. So the horses are technically owned, but they are free to roam the various lands. So they fend for themselves as far as food, but they are owned by guardians, and that relationship actually dates back to the early 1500s. And you know, one of the more interesting facts about these horses is that the breed has actually linked to prehistoric times. So there's cave paintings of these horses in this region dating back to prehistoric times.
Wow. So I think the beauty of what I'm hearing about these three different films is that they come from different countries. I think that's kind of fascinating. I mean, that must have been a great joy for you to be able to not only do this, but to do it in a different country, in a different, you know, cultural environment and everything like that. How was that for you?
Absolutely. I think that you know, I've been fortunate enough to travel to some pretty remote and extraordinary places. I've long been captivated by horses as symbols of power and strength, but also beauty and regalness. And I think it's the balance of those two factors that I often seek through imagery. And I think each of these unique equestrian herds, they represent both of those polarities.
Now, why horses? Why did you choose the subject matter of horses?
Sure. You know, I think that it all starts with a story for me. I mean, I'm captivated by these unique set of circumstances that they've overcome, this interesting lineage, this prehistoric lineage, or the fact that these animals have been able to adapt and thrive in environments that humans haven't been able to.
Now, great story. It's one that I've seen. I've seen all three of them. They're wonderful.
Thank you.
And certainly if people now want to get a hold of you or find out how they can see these, how would they do that?
Sure. All of the films, as well as the still photography collections that I've shot, are available to be viewed on my website, which is drewdoggett.com.
And then you can also visit the EQUUS Film Festival website and go to our online platform. We've got a host of films there as well. So thank you very much for joining us, and thank you, Drew, for being part of the World Equestrian Games in Tryon, North Carolina.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.